Yorkshire unearthed another star batsman as 20-year-old Alex Lees batted throughout the first day of the LV County Championship match with Derbyshire in Chesterfield, in making a career-best 171 while breaking records in partnership with another centurion, Phil Jaques. Yorkshire batted after winning the toss but lost Adam Lyth in the 7th over when he nicked Mark Foote behind just after reaching double figures. The pitch had plenty of grass on it, but it certainly didn't misbehave in any way, shape nor form, and that meant that both Lees and Jaques were able to get off to solid starts as they look to give their high-flying side an ideal beginning as they go in search of a win to put themselves back on top of the championship table. Derbyshire, on the other hand, remain winless and are starting to stare relegation in the face after being promoted along with Yorkshire last summer. Both batsmen scored at a very good rate to bring up the 100 after only an hour and a half. It was hot again, making life tough for the bowlers, although Foote did work up some good speed, even if he still went for 4. Lees really impressed by scoring 100 at Lord's earlier this season, and he'd added a 50 to that before lunch, getting there with his 9th 4 from his 76th delivery. He scored that off Derbyshire debutant Peter Burgoyne. Lees was well aware that this was only the start for him. Although lunch was just around the corner, Yorkshire was still on the attack. Jaques pulled Mark Turner for a 6, and then he completed his own half-century next ball off his 68th delivery. He and Lees then added 2 more boundaries off an over which cost 22 runs to take the visitors to 151 by the time that lunch was taken. And the runs continued to come in the afternoon as Derbyshire's attack struggled to make any impression against a very confident Yorkshire team. These two batsmen had all the shots as they maintained a scoring rate of around 5 runs per over until both men slowed down a tad as they approached their brilliant hundreds. Lees had signed a contract extension before play, and it was easy to see why that was on offer as a youngster from Halifax completed his 2nd championship 100 in 3 games. Out goes Joe Root, and in from the Yorkshire conveyor belt comes another super talented young batsman. He needed 163 balls for his ton, and that included 16 fours. Jaques was not far behind. His 13th 4 to go with 1-6 took him to his ton off 174 deliveries. It was the Australian's first 3-figure score of the summer, a summer when he's not always been at his best. He hasn't had to be, as plenty of his teammates have scored hundreds. This second wicket partnership was now moving into record-breaking territory. They'd soon beaten their county's highest second wicket stand against Derbyshire, a record which went back to 1910, and later on they went on to record the best ever second wicket stand at this Queen's Park ground in Chesterfield. A true star had been born by the time that Lees drove Wes Durston through the covers for his 22nd boundary to take him to his exceptional 150, which had occupied 248 balls. None other than Jeff Boycott has had many fine things to say about Lees, and it's now easy to see why. On this evidence, he appears to have it all. The partnership had got to an incredible 311 made in 81 overs when Jaques was at last dismissed on 139 as he gave Durston some catching practice off Tim Groenewald. But Lees showed no signs of getting out as he dominated the scoring for the remainder of the day, guided from the other end by his captain Andrew Gale. Lees later said that he was quite fortunate, pointing out how tough things were against the first new ball. By the end of the day, as Geoffrey might say, he could have hit the ball for 4 with a stick of celery. He ended an unbelievable day on 171, made out of his side's very impressive 367 for 2, the final session being the quietest of the 3. Burgoyne also impressed on his debut with the ball, although he remained wicketless from his 33 overs. Derbyshire will need Lees out and a quick change in their fortunes if they're not going to be playing catch-up for the rest of this contest.